hey guys, we are going to do the lesson today on a video. Some unexpected things came up with something that I sponsor here at school. So I'm here, but I'm not here. So I had to leave this for y'all so that we could not get behind, because we still got some stuff, a lot of stuff we've got to cover, okay? Alright, so basically this picture is called the unit circle, okay? You don't have to write this down or anything. We're actually going to learn all about this after this little unit that we're doing right now. So we all know that a circle is 360 degrees. So all the way around this circle and back around, this right here is 360 degrees. It says 0 because you're starting and stopping at the same spot. Alright, so the main thing you need to know is the reference angles for right now. So the reference angles are on the x and the y axis. So right here, your reference angle is 0, 90, 180, 270, and then it comes back around to 360. Okay, those are the main reference angles that you need to do. So, that you need to know. So what you need to have on your paper somewhere is basically an x and y axis, just somewhere small. Go ahead and write this down. And you've got 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and then back around to 360 degrees. Okay, so that's the main thing that you need to have on your paper, is this piece right here, okay? Alright, so you should have your notes now. You should have, I think it's 3 pieces of paper. 1, 2, yeah, you should have 3 pieces of paper. So if you need to, you can pause this video. They are collated, which means that they are already separated. So when you go through and you're passing them out, please be careful not to get them out of order, okay? So you should have 3 pieces of paper. 3 pieces of paper, okay? Go ahead and pause this video and pass those out. Pause this video, pass those out. Alright, so you should have your notes by now. If not, go ahead and pause this if you need more time. And here we go. The very first thing on page 1, it's got a whole bunch of stuff at the top, but basically all it says is sketch each angle. So remember that little drawing that we just drew at the top of our paper somewhere? This guy right there? So number 1 says 100 degrees. Well, 100 degrees is just past 90. And here's 90 right here. So it's just past the y-axis. So we start at 0, which is right on the x. Anywhere, it doesn't matter. Start at 0, and you're going to go just past 90 and draw an arrow. And then we're going to draw this little line right here to signify that's where we're stopping. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Alright, let's skip number 2 for just a second. Let's go to number 3, okay? Alright, 225. If you need to, guys, label. If you need to label, okay? 225 is past 180. It's more than 180 degrees, but it's less than 270. So it's going to be somewhere between here. So you start at 0 on the x-axis, go up and around, and stop on that line. And that's it. You've sketched, okay? That's it. This is just getting you ready, making sure you all know where all of these points are. Alright, 450. You're like, Ms. Blackman, you only went to 360. This is more. Okay, yes, I know it's more than full circle, okay? Take 450 and subtract it from 360. Alright, when you do that, you get 90. So here's what you're going to do. You ready? You're going to start at 0, and you're going to go around a whole full circle. Notice that I did not connect the 2 points. I specifically did not connect the 2 points because I had to go 360 degrees, then I had to go 90 more because 360 and 90 makes the full 450 that I need to go. So once I've gone one full circle, I need to go 90 more. Well, 90 more is right here. That's where 90 is. So I'm going to go and stop on this line. Notice how my circle kind of spirals so that I can visually see how many times I went around. All right, number 2. Let's go back to number 2, okay? And by the way, on number 4, you don't have to draw a line like you did on this line right here, like you did on 3, because you already have a line drawn in for your y-axis here, okay? So you don't have to draw anything. All right, number 2. Notice that it's got a negative in the front, okay? So instead of going up and around to 90 and 180 and 270, we're going to go down and around, okay? So let me show you what I mean by that. We're still going to start here at 0, but I'm not going to go up to, like this is, I'm not going to call this 90 anymore because it's negative. Negative, you're going to go down to 90 degrees, which means this would be negative 180, which means this would be negative 270, and this would be negative 360. So it's the same exact thing, but everything, instead of going up and around as you count, you go down and around as you count. All right, 75 is before negative 90. So I'm going to draw that line before negative 90. And then I'll start at 0, like always, but I'm going to go down because it's negative. All right, and that's those first 4. Let's go to the next ones. All right, same thing. We're still sketching. All right, so if you need to, this is 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. Some of y'all got it, but some of us don't, okay? So let's draw it if we need to. 210 is more than 180, but it's less than 270. Notice how I drew my line closer to 180, because 210 is closer to 180 than it is 270. All right, so I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go up and around and stop on that line. Notice how I have an arrow on the one end, and notice that I went up and around because it's positive 210. All right, here we go. Let's look at number 6. This is negative right there. So this is 0 degrees, but I'm not going to go up. I'm going to go down to 90 because it's negative. This would be negative 180. This would be negative 270. And then negative 360. All right, 45 degrees is before 90. So I'm going to draw my line. And actually, it's right smack dab in the middle between 90 and 0. And I start at 0. Since it's negative, I'm going to draw my arrow down. And this is just getting you ready for unit circle stuff, okay? So it should be very easy. If there's one that's not so easy to you, please put a star by it so that we know which one to look at tomorrow when I get back. All right, look at number 7. 0, 90, 180, 270, and then back around to 360, okay? And 540 is more than 360. So you're like, okay, I need to go start at 0, go up and around one full circle. Because I got to go at least 360. All right, let's figure out how much more we have to go. So 540 minus 360 is 180. So once I go my full circle, notice how I haven't connected them, then I'm going to go 180 more degrees. So that means I'm going to go all the way and stop on this line. Since there's already a line there, I don't have to draw anything. And we're done. That's it. All right, let's flip over to the next page on the back. All right, notice that it doesn't say sketch. It says find a positive angle that's less than 360. So it's not going to be like number 7 that we just did where it's going to go around more than once. It's going to stop before 360, okay? Don't worry about this right now because you don't know what that means. Co-terminal. Look at this word. Like if you have a co-ed softball team, that means you got guys and you got girls playing on the same team, okay? So if you have a co-terminal side, that means that it stops on the same exact line. So remember how we drew these graphs? And then we drew this like random bar out here wherever it stopped. So that means it's going to stop on the same exact line, okay? Alright, so that's basically what it means. So all you do is you take 620 and you subtract it from 360. That's all you do because that was a full circle. It had to be less than 360. Alright, so take your calculator, say 620, subtract 360. Get your calculator, you subtracting it. Alright, so that should be 220 and then 4 more would be 260. Should be your answer. Alright, and then let's look at the next one. Let's see, we have negative 765. Alright, so let's see. We're going to take, don't worry about the negative. Remember, the negative just mean you went down and around. Alright, so we're going to take 765 and we're going to subtract it from 360. Alright, take your calculator. Subtract those two and see what you get. Alright, you should get 405. But that is not my answer because it specifically said it had to be less than 360. So you got to take that and you got to do it again. You got to get it until it's less than 360. All right, take your calculator, subtract it, and you should get 45. That is your answer because that is a positive angle that is less than 360. So what that means is if you graphed negative 765 and you graphed 45, they would both stop on the same exact line. Let me show you. You don't have to do this. Negative 765 would mean I would go down and around once. I would go down and around twice. And then I would go, how many more? 45 more? And then the other one would stop on this same exact line. That's all it means, okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Negative 200. All right, take a second and see if you can try that one. Don't worry about the fact it's negative. Actually, we probably should let me do this one with you. Sorry, guys. This one's backwards. All right, we're going to do this one backwards since it is less than, since 200 is already less than 360. So we'll do 360 minus 200. You're still just subtracting it from 360. You're just doing it the other way around. Because remember that it needs to be positive, right? So then 360 minus 200 is 160 degrees. All right, and then number 11, you don't want to do the negative. The negative just means that it's going down, okay? So you're always going to subtract it from 360. And you should get 315. 315 is positive, and it is less than 360, okay? That's what you're trying to get to. All right, last one, 375 minus 360 is 15 degrees. All right, is that it for that page? No, we got all the way down there at the bottom. We got two more all the way down to the bottom, okay? All right, we're going to learn something new. And in the directions, you are going to rewrite, you're going to convert between degrees and radians, okay? Radian simply means it's like 4b right here and it has a pi. Degree means it's like 4a and it has a degree symbol, okay? So first thing you need to do is you need to make this 120 a fraction. So how do you make anything a fraction? You put it over 1, okay? And you have two options and two options only in that little box right above these two examples. You can either multiply by pi over 180 or 180 over pi. Those are your only choices, guys, okay? Those are the only two choices you have. This is 180 degrees, and this is 180 degrees, okay? All right, so this is 120 degrees. So you're going to multiply by one of those two, either pi over 180 or 180 over pi. It does not you do not have any other choice. So here's what you do. You have a 120 degrees on the top of a fraction. In order for that to cancel, you need a degree on the bottom of the fraction. So which one of these two have a degree on the bottom? And it's this one. So you're going to take 180 and then pi. All right, remember the zeros trick? The zeros will cancel. Remember we talked about this not too long ago. The zeros will cancel out if you have if you're dividing them. So you have 12 pi over 18. That will still reduce by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2 pi. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So in other words, 120 degrees and 2 pi over 3 are the exact same thing. If you remember back a couple of days ago, I had you take your calculator and go to mode and put it in degree mode, because you've got to make sure you're in the right mode. You've got to make sure you're in the right degree. Okay, so let's look at our 4b. This one has a pi. This one's already a fraction, and it already has a pi. So I need to get that pi to cancel. If it's on the top of the fraction, it goes on the bottom of the fraction to cancel it. So the only one that's got a pi on the bottom is this one. That means 180 go on the top. All right, then you take your calculator and you do 3 times 180 is, first of all, sorry, pi's cancel. I'm sorry about that. 3 times 180 is 540 degrees divided by 8. And let's see if that divides evenly. It does not. Okay, so we need to figure out what number goes into both of them, and it is 4. We're going to divide these by 4. So 540 divided by 4 is 135. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And that's it. That's all you got to do. All right, let's go on to the next page, and let's work through some more of these. Let's practice some more, okay? All right, so let's look at 25. 25 says 330 degrees. The first thing that you have to do is you have to make it a fraction. To make anything a fraction, you put it over 1. And you had 2 options, guys. You had 180 over pi, or you had pi over 180. Those are the only 2 options you have, okay? All right, so here we go. We have 330 degrees on the top of a fraction. In order for that degree to cancel, it must go on the bottom of a fraction, which means we're going to deal with this guy, which is pi over 180. When you're dividing zeros, the zeros cancel out, so you have 33 pi over 18, but those will still reduce by 3. So 33 divided by 3 is 11. 18 divided by 3 is 6. And that's your answer for 25. All right, then I want to do number 27 with you. All right, you have 2 options, okay? Do not let it freak you out because it has a negative. It's the same exact thing. All right, so it's already a fraction, and I either have to multiply by pi over 180 or 180 over pi. Since I have a pi on the top of a fraction, it's got to go on the bottom of the fraction to cancel it out, which means I'm going to use that guy. Pi's cancel out. And don't forget to keep this negative. It's negative 180 degrees over 3. And let's see if that divides evenly. And it does. And it gives you negative 60 degrees. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to work through 26, 28, 29, and 30. Okay? You work through those real quick. Pause the video. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, so by now everybody should have worked through 26, 28, 29, and 30. If you still need some more time, make sure that you pause this video. All right, so here we go. I'm going to give you the answers. 26 is already a fraction. So I need that pi to cancel. So he's going to go on the bottom, and 180 goes on top. Pi's cancel. 5 times 180 is 900 degrees. Divided by 6 should have been 150 degrees for 26. All right, and then 28, I need to make negative 50 a fraction by putting it over 1. That degree is on the top, so I put this degree on the bottom to cancel it. And pi always goes with it. Zeros cancel, so it's negative 5 pi over 18. 5 and 18 do not reduce, so you're done. All right, 29, 190. Got to make it a fraction, so put it over 1. And then we need that degree to cancel out. So we're going to put him on the bottom. And pi and 180 always go together. It's just what order they're in. All right, the zeros cancel out, and you have 19 pi over 18. 19 and 18 do not reduce, so you're finished. All right, we've got one more, number 30. It's already a fraction. I need that pi to cancel, so I'm going to put that pi on the bottom, and then 180 goes with it. Does pi's cancel out? Negative 7 times 180 is 1200. It's 1260. Divide it by 3, and it gives you negative 420. All right, guys, that is it. We have a really, really short test. We have one more section left, which I will do with you when I return on Thursday. And then we have a math workshop test on Friday, okay? And then we'll have a test on this next week. So here's what we need to do. We need to make sure we realize we do not have a factoring quiz on Friday. We have a test on what is in front of you. Excuse me. Let me back up. Sorry, guys. You do not have a factoring quiz on Friday. You have a math workshop test on Friday. On Friday, May the 4th, you have a math workshop test. Then Tuesday of next week, you will have a test on what is in front of you, okay? Because we got to get going. We've still got like 3 tests left. All right? Make sure that you circled any of these problems that you are struggling on. And please make sure you turn your calculators off. You put them back in their cases and put all of my calculators back into the black case by the front door. Y'all have a great day. I will see you on Thursday.